Recording on this computer. Awesome. So today is October 24th, another sacred Saturday. Never before lived day. Don't forget that. And we get to step into the weekend as visionaries. And I want to remind you that you are visionary. Visionaries means, you envision and you create your life from that. And I think it's been a while since maybe we have focused on the vision. We did talk about, filling out that vision setting form for the quarter, but also don't forget, the 5-year vision, the 3-year vision that we focus on during the event, because it's so easy to get myopic as human beings and get really mired in the busyness of it all. I myself, I was doing I'm still in the midst of this launch of the membership, which you will benefit tremendously by, because I'm adding a whole slew of live yoga classes that I'll be Zooming just like this. And we'll get to, if you want a yoga class, you'll be able to join, you'll be able to hop in and join, which I'm really, I'm excited to offer that. I know it's going to be, for you, Liz, maybe it'll be during the middle of the workday, but I also have like 3 p.m. Slow flow class on Wednesdays, at 3 p.m. Restorative yoga on Fridays, which I think would be very beneficial. And then a Saturday right after this, I will be, doing a 75-minute vinyasa. So I'm going to have to, keep these sessions to like 10, 15, an hour and 50 minutes, which should be plenty of time if we stay focused. So that's in service of being able to offer live yoga sessions at the time that most people said they wanted it at, which was 10 o'clock. So I decided 10:30. It'll give me a little time to get changed and transition. So one little announcement there, big announcement actually. I'm excited. I think with the COVID situation seeming to spike again, and I think this is the best way to proceed. And I think that we will do a online in person instead of an in person mastermind retreat, which will be just a little bit longer than this, and will include the yoga as well. So November 14th is the day we set. So I think that will be, just to be safe for everybody and just for peace of mind and convenience as well. Although I would have loved to share a meal with you and treat you to that and all of that, but I feel like, just reading the papers and seeing the numbers go up, I feel it's probably, it's great. Just be in your home, be safe, and we can share a virtual meal together maybe, and and also have a little longer, more of a workshop style experience, and we'll definitely do full on yoga that day. So I'm excited for that. So today,
So
yes, yes,
you're
yes.
saying that November 14th, our get together will be a Zoom meeting?
Yes, I think so. But I just, I've been just reading the papers, and it just seems. I know New York is not one of the states where it's like, increasing, but I just want to be responsible. That, I mean, if you really all want it, like we could all get tested and just be like have the peace of mind to do it. But I feel perhaps it's. I mean, how do you feel about that, Liz? Because I wanted to have an in-person meeting, but I'm just feeling, as an organizer, I want to be responsible and my care. Your safety comes first, So for sure.
Yeah,
I'm,
in my first, sorry, go
Yes.
ahead, Patrick.
no, no, go ahead.
Um, I was just gonna say my personal opinion is I'm fine either way. I'm fine doing things in person. I'm the much more just my type in general, like different quizzes and personality assessments I've gotten. I'm very open to risk though, so I'm probably not the best barometer.
Got it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And Patrick, what were you saying?
Uh, I'm okay either one. I mean, I guess that would give me, but I mean, I was sort of looking forward to the in person, but
Got it. Yeah,
I
me
could be,
too.
I could be
I
out.
just feel,
I mean, it'd give me
like,
more flexibility.
Like if the
if I was doing,
weather was warm enough, I would love to do it like in the park. It would be so great to just have like a group, a group yoga class in the park and just be have the fresh air and everything. But doing it in my, I would be doing it right here, and there's, enough space to. But it's just I just felt like maybe it's the most responsible thing to, just do this online, just as to be 100% safe, So. Um, let me
I
give it a
could do
thought.
online too.
Okay. I mean,
I'm okay.
online,
I'm,
the advantage of online is it will produce a recording. So, a class that you can revisit and all those things. But, um, all right. So anyway, please hold November 14th. And I have not scheduled my regular membership class on that day. So we'll go from, let's say, 9 a.m., 10, 11, yeah, to about like 11:30 perhaps, and maybe, yeah, I think that'd be good. 9 to maybe 11:30 or so, including a yoga class. So please hold that time. So, image maker, you are born in the image. So I highly recommend that there is the book Think and Grow Rich. There is a chapter on persistence. This is a wonderful chapter to read. Um, it's been said that success is 1% talent and 99% persistence, and I think it's true, but that 1% is important too. That 1% is the vision part, right? The 1% is the vision part. And so let's revisit our the longer term vision. And you know we are vision means we have the capacity to, by being persistent in holding the vision and vibrating, and really cultivating a skill of vibrating emotionally to, calibrating yourself to the vision instead of calibrating yourself to the existing reality, which is kind of old news, right? What exists right now is what has accumulated from, it's the result of your previous thinking, right? What you have been thinking all this time is what is manifest now, which is wonderful. You're living what you have envisioned. That's why you have the property in Pittsburgh, Patrick, and Liz. You're living your dream career, and I'm doing what I have loved. And this is, but there's always, as human beings, there's always, we are actually, we are beings in the flow. We are beings in the dynamic flow. And so people who tell you like, you should be content with what you have and not wish for more, they don't understand that, right? It is our nature to continuously seek, through our 3D experience of our material world, we get to sift and sort. This is the part that I want to catch you up to speed, Liz, of what you missed, is really that as human beings, we have these five senses. And we go through the world, and as we go through the world, and we encounter many things, and we are consciously and subconsciously always sorting, I like that, I don't like that. I prefer this, I don't prefer this, and so, and out of sometimes encountering things that we don't like and we don't prefer, we launch rockets of desire of what we would love to have, right? What we would love to have. And so, and we've been kind of tapping into, last week we were kind of tapping into the work of Esther and Abraham Hicks. And Abraham is not a guy, not a person. Abraham is this kind of entity that she has channeled it's a collective consciousness entity that is speaking through one person. So we are focused consciousness, living on planet Earth as one human being. We are the source power itself, manifest in this human form. That's what we mean by you are a spirit having human experience, right? You are pure consciousness, the source energy. You are source energy having a 3D linear time, solid 3D material human experience. And the benefit of that is that, as human beings, we're always offering a vibrational offering to the universe. And whether we know it or not, we are attracting through the law of attraction, which is real. And the yogis were probably the earliest people to realize that thoughts becomes things, and what we are vibrating to is what we magnetize. And so we can say all day long, I want more money, I want a greater, better relationship, I want this, I want that. But if we're vibrating from a place of lack, there is the gap. We're still emphasizing the gap. Like we're still vibrating here and we're saying we want that, but we're still vibrating here. So we're going to continue to manifest on this vibration. So what I think this is the thing that the Abraham Hicks work they talk about is, so their step number one is to launch the rocket of desire. We encounter something we don't want or something we want, and we launch, I don't want this, I want this, right? That's the initial, I want this, I want more abundance, I want more time, I want more personal freedom, I want more fulfilling relationship, I want more, I want to travel the world. This is launching the rocket of desire, and that is wonderful. And we are here as creators to continuously, manifest that. But most people on planet Earth don't understand step number two, which is, now that you have launched, the whole purpose of contrast in our 3D reality experience is for us to be able to launch that, initiate that desire process. But step number two is to become a vibrational match. And we as human beings, we're so sometimes dominated by, the physical things that we can touch, and, and then we see that we focus on the absence of the, money in the bank account, the lover, and we continue to, focus on, like, I don't have the money, I don't have the lover, I don't have, so, and we're continually just, and it's natural because we have these sensory data that we've been kind of programmed to focus on. And we say, people who are practical say, well, this is the truth right now, you don't have that money, and then they keep like vibrating to, you don't have it, you don't have it, you don't have it, you can't have it, you can't have it. And so there's the vibration you absorb and you persist, right? So, but visionary, that's why visionaries are so exceptional, is that you're able to rise above that. And we have to be able to rise above the lack of the convincing evidence from 3D physical reality that it isn't yet there yet. And take the time and dare to allow yourself to fantasize. And this is how this is how our world has evolved through visionaries. That's why, Steve Jobs said the ones who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world are the ones who do change the world, right? And that's the visionary streak that we do need, because if Thomas Edison didn't persist in his vision of inventing the light bulb, and he persisted 10,000 failures, right, at least. And if Wright brothers didn't persist in their vision of a flying machine, a metal thing that flew in the air, I mean, just imagine the world we would live in, right? Even the chair we sit on is, somebody had a vision of a chair. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm tired of sitting on the floor in the cave, and wouldn't it be nice if I could just like rest my back and and let my leg hang and just allow my spine to be straight." And they had a vision, and then the first chair was invented. So, and then maybe after having an uncomfortable chair for a long time, they said, I'm lonely, I want somebody next to me, and maybe lo and behold, there was the love seat that was invented. So on and on it goes. So holding your vision. And so I want you to, focus on that right now, the 5-year vision for a moment, or the 3-year vision, the longer term vision, and just think about what, just go to what you envisioned at the event when we did that exercise of, taking that time machine, right? Taking that time machine and getting out, or opening the time machine cart, and, the vista, the vision of your life that you saw 3 years out, 5 years out. And are you on the trajectory Are you really on the trajectory to manifesting that? Are you actually are you really actually behaving as if that is a possibility, that is something that you truly, is that vision, alive in your day to day, because as we head into the end of the year, um, it's it shouldn't be just a once a year exercise. It should be, they say, the Abraham Hicks people, they say 17 seconds of holding the vision and vibrating to the vision, holding the vision and vibrating to the vision. And we must also understand that there is, as human beings and as conditioned human beings, we have built up a lot of resistance to living in that vision. I can attest to you, like, I have had, I don't know, probably hundreds of clarify your vision sessions with people. And this is the thing that most people have such a hard time. And it's unconscious resistance. And it's because we're out of practice. Um, we're out of practice living in that visionary state and vibrating to the visionary. People always go to, when I ask them, so if you had a magic wand, if you had a realistic magic wand that could just instantaneously create the life you absolutely love living a year from now, what would that look like? And I support them with everything I've got to, have them hang out in that fantasy world of, that magic wand, and what would it be? The first thing they tell me is, like, why they can't have it, or, but, the problem they encounter, or they can't quite give themselves permission to fantasize all the way to actually what they would love. But they say, oh, but the kids, oh, but you know, but I wouldn't be getting the benefits from my work if I left my work. And, they just go to that very practical, realistic place. We're just so wired. And it's so hard sometimes for me to, get them to vibrate at the level. So, but we've been working, almost, at least 9 months now, right? 10 months now together on really installing the visionary mindset. And still, there's a part of us that offers a lot of resistance when it comes to maybe believing. So one thing is that, one very important thing, and this is a writer downer, is that as human beings, right, we have been given these five senses, but we have been given even more a sophisticated barometer to gauge whether we are on the track to manifesting what we want or not. And that is our feelings. That is our feelings. And this is where tools like the peace process, meditation, the time machine exercises, this is where all this really comes in handy. And I want you to use them because when you think of your vision and you have this heavy feeling of not having it, or resistance, or just feeling like just some subconscious pattern of guilt or shame or discouragement, these are the feelings that indicate these are the resistant thoughts that kind of is the boulder in your way, the obstacle in your way to getting on the path to manifestation. As visionaries, we want to actually think downstream thoughts. That means that's why gratitude always puts you in a downstream mode, which means I'm so grateful. I have this already. I'm so grateful. It's all working out for me. I'm so grateful. It's all, and this entity, Esther and Abraham Hicks, who's channeled through a human being called Esther Hicks, they talk about, there's a vibrational escrow. There is a vibrational escrow of all your rockets of desires. as soon as these vibrational beings tell us that as soon as you launch your rockets of desires, it is given to you vibrationally. That's why when the Bible says, ask and it is given, ask and it is given, it is like from the universe, like a channeled message to us. And yet we don't take it literally, but literally, as soon as you ask, this longing arises and this wish arises, it is given to us vibrationally. And all we have to do is become a vibrational match to it long enough and be persistent in that to actually allow that physical manifestation in. But the problem with as we human beings have is that we continue to persist and beat the drum of the lack of the thing we have, and we're so more believing, and we have more faith and more belief in the lack of, because our five sensory input mechanism tells us it's not there yet, it's not there yet, it's not there yet, the money's not there yet, I don't have the money, I don't have the, so we keep repeating these thoughts of lack, right? I don't have the money, I don't have the relationship, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And so we keep repeating this, and so this is what we attract, and this persists in our reality. So, we must find the path of least resistance, and we have to find a way to feel good about that which we truly long to have, and know that it is already vibrationally given to us, and hold thoughts like this. So immediately it might be hard for us to lift ourselves from this frequency to this frequency, the frequency of lack to the frequency of having. So what we do is we start to reach for the next thinkable, believable thought. I'm willing to entertain thoughts of abundance. I'm willing to entertain the possibility of having, a wonderful, permanent, long-term relationship. I'm willing and I'm deserving. And then if you encounter resistance about the thought of deserving, you do a few minutes of peace process. Where is it in my body? And then you clear that and your vibration lifts. I'm deserving of having a wonderful, fulfilling, long-term relationship. And just feel into that. I feel good about me having this long-term, wonderful relationship. I feel wonderful. I'm feeling more and more ready. So if you don't feel 100% ready, you just think that thought, I feel more and more ready. So you learn the art of the least resistance of elevating and reaching for the next thinkable thought. Doesn't have to be all the way. You don't have to go from 0 to 1,000 in one fell swoop. That is very difficult to do, and you will actually backfire in your efforts. So learn to elevate your thinking. Learn to put a lot of importance on your thinking. Right? This month we're really focusing on becoming a master of mastering the law of attraction. Right? And it's going to take a lot more than a month, but because we've been so conditioned. But I want you to really start putting a lot of emphasis on how are you feeling? Because your feelings are the most sophisticated indicating system, indicating barometer of whether you are magnetizing into your life, what you say you truly want. And I want you to start closing that vibrational gap. I want you to start noticing your patterns, because as creators, we do have the choice. We do have the choice to think that is the power, the freedom of thought, first of all, right? And then a belief just means a practice thought. A thought you've practiced so many times that if you practice that thought enough times, it produces a certain feeling, and we've habituated ourselves to feeling that way. So we just have to rewire ourselves gradually to becoming more and more a vibrational match to what we want. Right? So notice your feelings of unworthiness about receiving this absolutely fulfilling long-term relationship, or notice your practice thought about unworthiness, about having your vision come to manifestation. Me too, this is myself included, right? Because the reality, and whatever the circumstance we have now is the thoughts we have practiced, and we have practiced helpful thoughts and we have practiced unhelpful thoughts. And so we want to just, and I'm not saying, if, and don't be afraid, when you notice that you've been thinking thoughts that are like the old, just notice that and don't feel guilty about it or don't feel afraid about it, right? Because your positive thoughts are a lot more powerful than the old tape that's been running. So your new positive thoughts have a lot more magnetizing power. So when you notice, simply just put yourself back on the track of just saying, I have the ability to, think new thoughts. And I choose to energize this thought. And just maybe 17 seconds, right? I am worthy. It's all working out for me. All is well in my universe. You can just also start with general thoughts. And that's another way to lift your vibration is if you have a hard time thinking about the specific thought about the relationship or the money, the amount of money, and you have a lot of resistance around that or practiced doubt or practiced sense of worthiness around that, just think more general thoughts, right? The universe is an abundant place. Can you resonate with that, right? There is an abundance, there is abundance in this universe. That is a very general thought that will lift you up a notch, right? I live in an ocean of abundance. And if you believe in that, if you can vibrate to that, just repeat that thought, right? So it's very important that you can align with the thoughts, right? Sometimes people say affirmations don't work, and that's because people try these affirmation thoughts, which are way beyond where they are vibrationally, and then it backfires. And then, as they say, as they repeat, I am a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, they're subconsciously repeating, how can that be true? I don't have it, so I don't have money in my bank account. It's, the truth is not, so they're really practicing the gap rather than, because they're not, so it's counterproductive to think those specific thoughts when you have a lot of resistance to it. When you have a lot of resistance to it or practiced doubts and practiced disbelief around that, then think more general abundant thoughts and continue to lift, maybe it's just, I'm worthy. I know I am worthy. I know I am deserving. I am deserving and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what's right in my life. So practice those thoughts that are higher vibrational in nature until you can really feel good. Right, so I know I've been on a little bit of a rampage, but that's kind of what like Esther and Abraham Hicks, she channels these beings and she goes kind of on this rampage. But so I hope that is clear. Step one, you launch a rocket of desire. That you have been doing, and you're an expert at. Step two is what we need practice on, right? And step three is what? Step three is allowing. Step three is the art of allowing. Step three is the art of allowing. And allowing and taking dynamic actions as you are learning to hold the state of alignment and taking actions in that state, right? Taking dynamic actions in that state. And it is also allowing and trusting and surrendering and persisting, right? So any ahas and questions here right now? Let's open it up because I know this. I am working on this. I want you to know myself, and I've noticed how much resistance sometimes I have around my specific goals, and I've been working on this, and so I'm right in the trenches with you, and I've been living on planet Earth a long time too, and I have all the conditioning too, but it's never too late to start, and now is a dynamic moment to start becoming aware and valuing our feelings a lot more. You got to have the feeling first before you can have the manifestation. This is another writer down. You got to have the feeling first before you can have the physical manifestation. Yes. So what's landing for you? What's an aha for you? What questions do you have at this point? Liz?
Yeah, this is very helpful. I like this idea of I hadn't thought about it as sort of an inner resistance that causes that sort of lack of a clear picture or a lack of ability to articulate the vision, but that makes sense. And I like the idea of sort of the ladder or the steps to go from thoughts that are aligned with lack to thoughts that are aligned with abundance, and kind of working it out each way. So I jotted down a little picture for myself, and I'll work on that. Go from lack to willing to deserving.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. And when you spontaneously have, like, when you're with your family, or your the nephews or cousins or kids, and you're having a really great time, and you're just like in this really free, we've all had those moments when we can't like stop laughing, and we're just like having such a great time. I want you to like use your memory in a way that serves you. Like sometimes our mind latches onto the negative things and it keeps repeating it. So as conscious creators, I want you to notice that, and take note when you really feel happy, and when you're like laughing and you're running around and you're just like really in a free, abundant, like carefree state. You know, that's that the Abraham entity calls the high flying disc. You want to just keep playing that over and over in your mind, those times, and whatever the joke or whatever the things you were laughing about, and like continue. This is a way you can create a really high vibrational state, right? High vibrational state, and that's a great place from which to do your envisioning. That's a great place from which to take your actions, right? So, and every day, I want you to adopt, in addition to the morning practices, and the morning practice should include like 15 to 20 minutes of like really like meditation. This is what the whole purpose of meditation is to align yourself with the source power vortex. This is the escrow that the Abraham entity has been talking about, the escrow, the vibrational escrow of all of your asking has produced all of this vibrational giving already, and it's living in your vibrational escrow. And most of us are compulsive doers. We are just so addicted to doing and efforting and pushing and efforting. This has been the old Newtonian paradigm: mechanically push, mechanically do it, do it, do it. If I don't make it happen, it doesn't happen. This is, and I am also, really, I understand like how much I've been conditioned in that, and how I'm still so compulsive in that. So every morning I've been just sitting in the place of feeling so aligned with your source power, where you're not asking for anything, where you're not trying to do anything, you're just sitting in the receiving mode, sitting, just aligning, not thinking about or desiring anything, but just really being in touch with the source power, right? Being in touch with the source power, communing with your source power, and opening yourself to that. This is important, and starting your day in the vortex. So again, the Abraham entity really talks, which is a very wise entity who is just kind of come to the human realm to help us break out of this shackle of always living in a vibrational mismatch to what we say we want, right? Because there is so much abundance in this universe, and there is no reason why you should live in lack. So they're compassionate entities, and they've come and to through this person, they're just helping us understand how it really works in the non-physical realm, because we are, instead of saying we're spirit having human experience, another way to think about it is we are source energy having come into the human form to become focused, to become focused point of attraction. As human beings, we have this thing called point of attraction. vibrational point of attraction that's always in the now. It's always in the now, and the point of attraction is the sum total of the vibrational offering that you are offering. Right now, you all have a frequency that you're vibrating to, and there is technology such as Kirlian photography, which actually can take a photo of you and it will show you your aura, and so that just, that is the sum total of your vibrational offering. And so that is what you're magnetizing. That is what you're broadcasting. As human beings, we are source power, and we have come into this human form to be dynamic, conscious creators. And we're here to master that. And it's not that we're trying to attain becoming the source power again. It's already attained. You are that. So what we have to do is unlearn this disallowing. We have learned to pinch ourselves off. We have learned to pinch ourselves off from that source power pretty good, even though we are the source. And the source lives inside you in its full glory. Right now, we have learned to disallow it through our conditioning, through our belief that we are this cut off, egoic personality, cut off from the source, and we gotta fend for ourselves, and there's only so much abundance to go around, and so we gotta fight, and we gotta, this is the illusion that we live, and yoga calls this Maya, right? The illusion that we're separated. And there is, if you receive abundance, then you're depriving somebody else, and that is kind of like the teachings that we've been taught, right? So finish your food. There's starving children in Africa, right? We've all been like brought up in that paradigm, and so now this is a time of great awakening. This is a time of great awakening, and whatever is happening in the outer world, if it serves us to wake up to this, I think it's a wonderful thing. So you are the source power, and there is no lack, and we have to stop the disallowing, to allow the vibrational escrow, to be in the receiving mode of what is in the vibrational escrow, and allow the receiving. And so some practices, right, that really help are holding your vision for at least 17 seconds, if you can, for like 5 minutes, if you can just like really practice, fantasizing and just feeling the emotions of your vision having come manifest. Yeah? And make that, shift your belief, shift your faith from what is manifest in the manifest world, and just start understanding that, yeah, this manifest world is, people call it true, and they give it so much, like they worship this truth, this reality, as as if this 3D is the ultimate, and it's because we're so mired in the 3D. And so start actually putting your vision on that pedestal, and vibrate to really try to spend multiple times in the day, like holding that vision, vibrating to that vision, allowing it, and then spend some time in receiving mode, a few minutes every day in the morning if you can. Start your day in the vortex. Start your day in the vortex. And I'll send you, I'll post a few videos of Esther, and she goes on these rampages, but I think you can get a sense of this being, kind of like the passionate being talking to you about this law of attraction, and it's really kind of entertaining. They really have a great sense of humor. So Patrick, do you have any ahas, questions? And I want to support you in having your vision, because I think it's such a wonderful vision, and having you vibrate, becoming a vibrational match to that.
Yeah, so one thing I've been noticing that when you talk about feelings and thoughts and feelings, I've been, aware of the power of our feelings, because our emotions and our feelings are sort of intertwined, but also our conscious decision to continue in a path of a feeling that isn't really serving you, and having staying in a higher emotional vibration or feeling, I think, allows a better path to attraction. Um, so that's one thing I've been working on. Um,
Great, great,
I don't know
great.
if I'm answering the question. I just wanted to
Yeah, no, that's your
share that
aha.
with you.
Yeah, wonderful.
Noticing patterns, because there's so many. I mean, there's so many things that can put you in an emotional state. I mean, I guess it can be a good emotional state, but those emotional states can turn into a long time period. And uh, I mean, it happens when I look at Facebook. Sometimes I get kind of overwhelmed with you know missing someone, or it's always about someone. Well, people are sharing their lives, and life can be very traumatic sometimes. Life events. People losing someone special, or something like
Mm,
that.
mm-hmm.
But all those stories can like throw off your emotional framework and get you off the
Yeah.
track.
So that's
So
one of
I
the
try not.
morning things. Yeah, don't start your day with the CNN, constantly negative news. So that's one thing to control
Yeah,
is don't start your day with the inbox, social media, or the news. Start your day in the first pristine, just like when you're fresh woken up, when you're fresh after shower or woken up, meditate and write your goals down and envision, like learn to let that this is what we know. Some of the, I think, priming ourselves too is like changing that first thing that we do in the morning. Like, what do you allow into your consciousness the first thing, because we are conditioned to calibrate our vibration to that which we observe and that which we see. It's so powerful, these senses, so that's a great I think to dial in our morning is to not start the day by looking at your phone and checking this social media um, feed, and instead, change the channel, right? Change the channel because if you're on CNN channel, all you're going to get is CNN, right? Constantly negative news. So if you want the Discovery Channel, if you want the Travel Channel, if you want, if you want the you know, adventure channel, if you want the abundance channel, that's why I created that, your abundance, the manifest your dreams video. I created for myself really because I wanted to start the day on the high flying disc of high vibration, and the statements I put in that video and the music I chose for that video is designed to just, the first thing I want to just like start with something uplifting, affirming something uplifting. It looks like we lost Patrick with the, see, it's all vibrational, right? So if you got to learn to sustain the this. We're on this Zoom call because you are a vibrational match. The link provides a certain frequency, and this is how we all meet in the same Zoom room. And so everything works like that, right? So like, welcome Patrick back. But radio works on this. Radio channel works on this, right? If you want what is it? Z100. If you want Z100, you can't be tuned to, 92.4 FM. I can't remember. I haven't listened to radio in so long, but everything works on frequency. So I was just saying, Patrick, as you fell off the Zoom call, that everything has to be, when you are a vibrational match to this frequency, you come into this Zoom room. When you are a vibrational match to the travel channel, that's when you get the content from the travel channel. You can be on CNN and wish for things all day long, but if you don't change your frequency, you can't get the travel channels. So this is, technology works on this principle, and it is a law. It is a law. So we have been giving this very sophisticated tuning device, more sophisticated than any iPhone technology or 5G or 6G or 10G, in the future that may get rolled out. We have been giving the most sophisticated tuning device, this human body, right? With emotions, with thoughts. So I think that yoga with a capital Y, in one sense, is about mastering this tuning device. That's why I call these Saturday morning sessions the visionary attunement session, right? I didn't call it, uh, you know, the the lecture series, or this is a place where we, want us to remind ourselves, because on planet Earth the programming is so strong, right? So, so I lost you there, Patrick. Was there something else? Questions or challenges or ahas or insights?
Well, I still think that, you know, w- writing the goals, your list of things to do the next day, the night before, is very helpful. But sometimes uh, when it comes, I should do it a little earlier than just moments before I go to sleep, because at that moment I'm too tired to do it. But uh, so I guess the continually, uh, keeping track of what you need to do the next day, because somehow when I write it down the night before, I just I'm just ready to go the next day, and it just seems so seems so much more productive that I'm going to be, that I go right to those things, and I just, jump from one thing to the next. But otherwise, you're sort of like not as not thinking about what I really need to do. But if you have something planned in advance, then you go do those things. You end up, I think, getting a lot more done versus
Absolutely.
knowing you have a lot of stuff to do, but then you sort of don't do it as efficiently or something, when versus having it planned out in advance. I mean,
Great point. Absolutely. And can I offer a hack? Can I offer a hack for that?
sure.
So, so the paradigm shift is, again, it's fine to have the to-do list, but first, thinking in terms of results. And this is from Tony Robbins, and he charges so much, for just this piece, is instead of working from your to-do list, start thinking in terms of tomorrow, what is the result I would love to produce? What's the result I want to, so instead of to-do list for the day or for the week, first think from, okay, what by the end of the day tomorrow, by the time my head hits the pillow, what are the results I would love, this is good languaging, right? What are the results I would love to have created, right? And then that's like reverse engineering. So again, you're thinking from the vision, the results. Now, what are the to then you can create your to-do list. But first connect with the results. What are the 5 top results I would love to have from this coming week? What are the top, it doesn't have to be 5, it could be, what are the top 3 results that I would love to have from this coming week? And then write your to-do list from that. Because again, like the to-do list is never ending, and it puts you in this paradigm of compulsive doing, right? And so we're saying maybe we don't need to do so much. Maybe we need to spend more time allowing. And that's a wonderful thing about, I think the thing that I have a lot to learn from the law of attraction, studying the law of attraction, is to live in allowing more, to live in allowing more and less in this compulsive doing, pushing mode. And and then check also, like what state am I doing this from, right? That's why first getting the vortex. Yes, create your nightly, what are the top 3 results I would love to have from tomorrow, and then create your to-do list from there. And then when you get up in the morning the next day, fresh upon arising, spend, at least 5, 10, if you can, 20 minutes sitting in and just be getting in the vortex, feeling aligned with your source, feeling aligned with your source of power. Because get in the vortex and then do your stuff. Get in the vortex and then envision, right? Get in the vortex and then write your goals, right? So this is another thing. I think one extra step, but a very important step. Get in the high vibration of the source energy first, which you are, but we have such a practiced way of pinching ourselves off. We pinch ourselves off from the source and we disallow, and it's like we have a hose and we have done this, and it gives the illusion that we are separated from the source. But we need to open that valve and allow the fountain of creative energy to bubble up inside of us and then feel good. You know, when you are in the vortex, when you are aligned with the source, you feel so good, you feel fulfilled. And and when you, if you've experienced true contentment, you know it's a very dynamic state. Contentment doesn't make you say, oh, I have this much, so I don't need anymore. You know, it doesn't do that, right? If you've experienced contentment, it's like this fountain of bubbling up and bubbling up and bubbling up, and then it actually is like, oh, and you're in the fulfilled state, and at the same time you are launching another rocket of desire of the next level. And this is a natural dynamic state to be, and it feels great because when you're in the vibrational match to the desire that you are launching, yeah, you can be manifesting. You can be a manifesting generator. You know, you can be really like so. So that's a hack I would offer, Patrick. Is that instead of just creating a to-do list, thinking, you know, get in the habit of asking, what's my number one top result I would love to produce tomorrow. By the time my head hits the pillow tomorrow night, what would I love to have? What's the result? You know, and then what needs to happen, right? And then what needs to happen. And sometimes also, like, instead of what do I need to do, it also could be what needs to happen. So then it just, you create in your languaging, then you create space for the universe to support you too. Not just you egoically pushing things, you know? So not just you doing everything to make it happen, you know what I mean? So creating more opportunity for the universe to step in and support you, right? Because, you know, and just being to open to like non-conventional, expected and you know, I'm a you know, I attract abundance and money from expected and unexpected sources. Allow that unexpected factor also, you know, make space for that also. Because if you're not tuned to that channel, you know, it's 100% sure it's, you know, you're actually shutting yourself off from it. And so of course you're not, so you're disallowing that, right? So this is I think a very different way from which we're conditioned to living, but try that. Try a living experiment in your life, right? So being a visionary means, yes, being, you know, playing a living experiment in your life, you know, trying a living experiment in your life.
Yeah, I like that idea of, I like being in a more like euphoric state, or what, I don't know, say you, if you're in I feel if you're in a higher state of mind, like some music kind of puts me in a really good mood. And I think being in a really good mood, I think accelerates that, that expansiveness and get it, you know, bringing the unconventional to you. Because if you're in a really good state of mind, then I think you're probably receptive to things coming. Because if you're, it just seems like in a higher state of mind, you're, well, you feel good. So I think feeling good is always a good way to go about your,
Make
you know,
feeling
day-to-day life.
good a top priority. Make feeling good
I
a
mean,
top priority.
I mean, notice that with some music, you listen to some music and it'll bring you down, and other music will bring you up.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
classical music can be good too, but it's almost neutral classical music. But I like classical music, but even some of the old, I mean, things that I used to listen to like years ago, but I still like, and they can make you feel good. But yeah, I like that results getting, you know, because I mean, the to-do list is to get results, but thinking in terms of, I want this to happen, you know, tomorrow or today, you know, because it's usually a whole set of circumstances that I have to complete in order to get the result that I want. So it's kind of what I've been working on all week to
Yeah. Phrase your
get
question
these
like this.
results.
Phrase your question like, what result would I love? What three results would I love? Right? What three results would I love to create by the time my head hits the pillow tomorrow night? And then create your to-do list from there, right? So write down those three top results, and then yeah. So I hope that helps. And I think your homework for this coming week is to attune to your feeling state. Pay attention to this sophisticated barometer of your feelings. Notice several times throughout the day, right? Notice as you walk through a threshold, as you open a doorway, as you open your laptop, just check in. What's my state? And just if you're not in a, if you're not in the highest state, don't make yourself, don't put yourself down for it. Don't beat yourself up about it. But then ask, what's the next thinkable, believable, higher frequency thought that I can think for myself, that I can choose to think that will lift me up, right? So, if
Yeah,
you, yeah, if you have the thought like I'm tired, for example, right, at 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon, so and we all say this a lot, like I'm tired, I'm exhausted, myself included, right? So what's a higher vibrational thought we can allow at that moment, you know? So just say, I'm gonna allow myself to relax a little bit. I'm going to allow myself to to relax and feel rejuvenated. I'm going to allow myself to hydrate. I'm going to take good care of myself right now. Or, so what's the next higher believable thought you can at that moment. So if you tell yourself I'm energized and I'm filled with energy, at the moment you're really tired, that's not a very thinkable thought, right? That's not a very believable thought. So in that moment, what can you I am connected. I am, even though I may be feeling physically tired, I am still connected to the source. I am the source. I got to remember that I am the source, and the source is with me now. And there is a next thinkable thought that can make me feel more energized, and you can just pray also, like, give me, oh source, give me the next thinkable thought that will help me feel more energized. And maybe you just close your eyes and you meditate in that moment for a few minutes, right? I'm going to just give myself 5 minutes to close my eyes and feel more connected to source. So monitoring your thoughts throughout the day, and noticing when you're thinking about the lack of something, or feeling bad about something. And don't make yourself, again, just like, be like your best coach, your best friend, inside your head, inside your heart, and just, okay, okay, Mariko, what's the next thinkable thought? Can you just do a peace process about this? Okay, let's see what's the next thinkable thought. So this is a good journaling exercise, by the way. And when you're feeling yourself like really down or in a rut, use your journaling to reach for the next believable, thinkable thought that you can align yourself with. And learning to be kinder to ourselves. Learning to be kinder to ourselves, learning to treat ourselves well, allowing ourselves to do the things that make us feel good. So maybe in that moment, you just put on some relaxing jazz when you're feeling really tired, and you put on some feel-good jazz music, and you just lie down with your eye pillow, lavender eye pillow, and you smell some good aromatherapy, and I'm just going to give myself 5 minutes of just feeling good, and that will do so much to lift your spirits, So I think becoming a good monitor of your emotional state. That's the homework this week. And then for extra credit, if you would like, you can check out the chapter on persistence by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. I read the chapter on persistence by Think and Grow Rich. And remember that this is all practice. Practice does make perfect, right? You got to practice vibrating, becoming a vibrational match. And we have many years of practicing becoming a mismatch to, what we want. So it's going to take some time. But so be patient, be kind with yourself. But this is, every moment you get to create your own reality. Every moment you get to, create the inner feeling state. And physical manifestation always comes after the feeling. So let's give ourselves permission to do the things that feel good. Okay, so that's the homework this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our Sacred Saturday Visionary Attunement session. And let's give all of ourselves a swaha. And as you do your swaha, just think about what you would love to allow, into your current reality. And let's give ourselves 3 swahas. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Swaha. More abundance, more fulfillment. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Swaha. The abundance is reality now. 1, 2, 3. Swaha. Fantastic. Thank you for being you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next week. I'll post some videos for you to check out on in the Visionary Mastermind of WhatsApp group. So check that out too, and listen to what Abraham has to say. And I think that'll be very helpful. Lots of love, Liz. Lots of love, Patrick. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Have a fantastic last week of October.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh,
Lots of
okay.
love.
Have a good week.
Bye. You too.
Too.